Okay, I'm going to be doing 3 examples. You will be doing the 2 problems in the back of the packet. And by the way, this is a 2x plus 2. Sorry, it's very poorly written. It's a 2x plus 2. Okay, now, take a look at what we got going on here. We have to solve an equation in which there are 3 ratios, 2 of which are added together. So the ABCD is out. Can't use that. So I just make the 3 fraction lines as wide as I possibly can. I need my LCD, and I will be doing the work on my equation over here. Now, that is a minus, it goes in parentheses. That is a minus, it goes in parentheses. That does not have a minus, so again, you can just drop that down. Plus, that does not, it just drops down. And then these 2 are pretty much already in parentheses. Now, all of these parentheses have 2 terms. None of them really have, the only GCFs on any of them are 1s. And none of them are perfect squares because we don't have the x to the second. So I pretty much got the hint that everything pretty much I'm not going to be able to do anything with on the scratch paper, so I'm not going to need it. So drop your x minus 2 down. Drop everything else down. Exactly where it goes, on the right fraction too. Okay, now we have to come up with an LCD. I only care about the bottom, okay? So I've got x minus 1 on the bottom. I have x plus 1 on the bottom. Remember, minus 1 plus 1 are different factors. X plus 1, I already got that, and x minus 1, I already got that. So it's just those 2. So I have 1 here for x minus 1. I have a single. I don't have any on this one. And I have an x minus 1 there. So we need to raise this guy up so he has 1. So parentheses x minus 1, parentheses x minus 1. How about x plus 1? Well, I don't see 1 there. I see 1 there. I see 1 there. Okay, so we need to raise this guy up so he has 1 to match the other ones. So parentheses x plus 1, parentheses x plus 1. Bottoms out. Okay, get out of here. Now, I'm pretty sure this side's just 38. Now I'm going to calculate my math papa. So I will be taking the quantity means parentheses, the quantity of x plus 1 times, I don't need to hit times another quantity, x minus 2, whoops, not 2 minus 2, that'd be kind of weird. Okay, and then plus x, and then quantity x minus 1. Okay, and that gives me 2x to the second minus 2x minus 2. Now, unfortunately, when I look through the equation, I have x to the second, and I've got regular x. So we're going to have to factor, move everything to one side, get this 38 out of here. Okay, so that leaves me with 2x to the power of 2 minus 2x. This is not 36. Negative 2, here, calculate it. Negative 2 minus 38 is negative 40. Okay, now it's GCFT time. There's going to be 2 answers. That's what I always get when I have to factor. Okay, GCF, negative's not here. You don't have x on everything. 2, 2, and 40 have a GCF. Okay, whoops. GCF's 2. Use your GCF calculator. So those are the 2 things you need to have up. You need to have the Math Papa algebra calculator. GCF calculator. Google them if you don't know, if you don't have them up. Okay, so 2, 2, 40. Okay, it's 2. It's just 2 though, not 2x. You don't have an x on that 40 right there. Okay, so line parentheses, factor out the 2. Now the 2 is not going to have x, so it's irrelevant when I solve. I don't need to worry about it. So now that we're at 1x squared minus 1x minus 20, then the ABC is run from here. I find 2 factors of negative 20. 1 times negative 20 is negative 20. negative, so I'm looking for a difference of 1. I got to keep in mind that 1's negative, okay? 1 and 20, nope. 2 and 10, nope. 3 is a decimal, 20 divided by 3 is. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Okay, and 5 minus 4 is that difference of 1 we're looking for. So 1 being minus like it is, negative means 5's negative, and having a negative up here means the signs have to be opposite. In the whole grand scheme of things, these have to multiply to negative 20, which they do. They also have to add up to negative 1. I just use the word difference so people can do the math in their head, okay? Now, a is 1x to the second. A is 1, so I just make 2 parentheses. Remember, I don't care about that 2. X plus 4, x minus 5, and that's F1, that's F2. Remember, this equals 0, okay? That's why I got everything to one side. So x plus 4 is 0, x minus 5 is 0. So I take 4 away, and I get negative 4. I add 5, I get 5. Booyah. Okay, next problem. Again, all these have 3. Okay, you can't use A, B, C, D to solve it. Okay, so LCD, just try to get rid of the denominator. Okay, parenthesize him. He'll just drop out as an outer x. Parenthesize him. Parenthesize him. Okay, now all these parentheses, they all would have GCFs of just 1. And none of them can be difference of perfect square. Some of them are minus, but you never have x to the second, so it's not going to be a perfect square. Okay, so drop everything down. Exactly where it goes. Okay, LCD time. I don't care about the top at all. Okay. We have this x here. That's known as outer x. It is not in a parentheses. Now we do have a parentheses of quantity x plus 3. And we have a quantity of x plus 3. Well, I already know that that's there. So outer x, I got 1. Outer x, that's not 1 because that's in a parentheses. So that's 0 and that's 0. So we got to raise these two up. Okay. So I just put an x. You can put it before or after. It's not going to matter. Okay, it's all the same. And here. Okay, now they're about the same, but now I got to deal with the x plus 3. This one doesn't have a parentheses of x plus 3. That has 1. That has 1. So we got to raise this guy up to match these. Parentheses x plus 3, parentheses x plus 3. Are all the bottoms the same? If they are all the same, they may be crossed out. Now remember, bring it to the top. It's got to go on top too if you have to bring it in here. Okay, Math Papa, definitely on the left side, okay? Maybe on the right. So quantity, x minus 1, close quantity. Quantity, x plus 3, plus x, quantity, 2x minus 1, close quantity. And that side is 3x to the second plus 1x minus 3. You can use MathPop on the other. Now, you need to be using MathPop the way I'm telling you. Okay, I need to see the work after you get this. You can use it to get each side. I'm being very nice about that. But then you actually need to use your brain a little bit once you get past that. So what do I have for x? Well, I have to the second, and I have it to the first. Okay, so move everything to one side because you have to factor again. Now you got x squared on both sides, so I get rid of the smaller quantity, smaller coefficient, sorry. And then minus 6x, and that can be subtracted from 1x. So that's 2x to the second. It's going to be negative 5x minus 3 equals 0, and it's a trinomial again. So GCF, negative in front, x on everything, 2, 5, and 3 is 1. But the T chart's coming. So 2 times -3 is -6, and if the t-chart doesn't work, I got a way to deal with that too. Difference is 5, quadratic formula. The song. 1 and 6, there's my difference of 5. Now 5 being negative as it is means the 6 is negative. Having a negative product up here means the signs must be opposite. Signs that easy. Now a is 2x to the second. So we will be using a double shot, plus 1 minus 6. Okay, at this point in time, I know there's 2 answers. So 2 and 1, it'd just be 1, so that stays the same. These have a GCF of 2, so it's 1x or x minus 3. If you're from Miss Peterson's class, you usually just put x. I like to put 1 there. So 2x plus 1 equals 0. If it's a 1x, it means I really don't have to divide. That's what it tells me. Minus 1. So 2x equals -1 divided by 2. The reason I put 1s is complicated. Okay, you can either put -1/2 or -0.5. I don't care if you divide. And add 3 to get 3. Reason why I don't write this down, but the reason why is because I always had Goose wanted to add 4 to both sides. Okay, and that started torquing me off so much. So I'm like, so I'd say, is that a 1 in front of your x? No, you have to divide by the number in front of the x. If it is a 1, you don't have to. Okay, next one. Maybe I just suck at, or I'm bad, sorry, this is on camera, at explaining it. All right, now my next one. Again, get those parentheses where the minus is at. So we have I already have one there. I have a minus here, not here, not here, not here. Now, I did have a minus here, but that was already parenthesized. Okay, so the non-parentheses stuff drops down. Now these two right here, again, they're 2 terms, but there'd be no GCF, and it's not a difference of perfect squares. The minuses might be there, but x isn't to the second. No, even if it was, 3 is not a perfect square. So we will just leave those parentheses alone. We will not rewrite them. Okay, now let's get our LCD. Put the times dots where they belong. So first thing we have is outer x. Then I have another factor that has a parentheses x minus 3. Then another x minus 3, which I already put. Then another outer x, which I already put there. So 1, 0, and 1. So he needs to be raised up. Okay, so we need to put an x and an x. X minus 3, he's got 1. He's got 1. He don't got nothing. Okay, so x minus 3. X minus 3. Cancel that. Now you can calculate that 18 plus -6x. It's just it's going to be the same. I mean, there's really no operations you can do. There's no times out of here, and these are not like terms. Here, I'll show you what happens if you punch that in. Yeah, they put the x first, not that it has to be. -6x plus 18. Then on the other side, that should be easy distribution, 5x minus 15. Okay, now here what do you have? You don't have x second. He's nowhere to be found. You have regular x only. So with regular x only, don't move everything to one side. Pick an x to get rid of. Add 6x. I could add him to 5x. So 18 would equal 11x minus 15. By the way, there's just one answer with so 33 equals 11x divided by 11. That's 3.